Happy freaking New Year. Keep it moving. Group coaching, you guys. I'm coming to you excited. I'm coming to you feeling fresh. I'm coming to you grateful that I got to spend some time with Lily for her first Christmas with us. So many powerful moments over the last couple of weeks, but I'm excited. And as you guys know, I don't believe in resolutions. I believe in standards for our life and all the things that we do. You do not need a resolution in order for you to have a big year. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but let's kick this thing off, you guys. It is January 3rd. We are on the eve of my beautiful wife's birthday, and so we're going to be celebrating her birthday tomorrow. But today is all about you guys. And so, in true Keep It Moving fashion, we obviously have some guests here today. We have our frequent flyers. I'm going to have somebody bring us out on the field, and it's the first time for 2025. So make this shit good. Patrick, I'm going to go over to you. So say something that's really good, mesmerize, captivate the people, but no pressure at all, big dog. No pressure at all. Do your thing, kick off, keep it moving group coaching for 2025. Let's go.
All right, guys. Good morning. It's our first session of the year. And like Elias said, fuck a New Year's resolution. Chase a New Year's revolution. It's time to go ahead and start building our systems up. It's a fresh new, I don't even want to say that it's not a fresh new start. I feel like people have that rhetoric of every New Year's we restart and refresh. I feel like, no, we need to stack up. We need to stack up on our previous year, look back on what we learned, on our struggles, on our L's, and how can we turn that into a W this year? So let's do it. I'm excited for this year, and I know we're all going to kill it.
I love it. Patrick, did you say New Year revolution? Did I hear
Yeah, I
you?
said fuck a New Year's resolution, chase a New Year's revolution.
Ooh, I've never heard it said that way, but I am with that. I absolutely love it. So really, really good stuff. And I think that to echo what you're saying, it's not about all of a sudden you're just going to start doing things differently. No, look at all the things that you're able to accomplish last year. And for everybody on the screen, I know that there are some major milestones for you guys. Think about the momentum that you had. Think about the skills that you learned. Think about the confidence that you gained. Think about the notoriety, the visibility that you were able to create that was all your own doing, right? Your own doing. So look at that, but also be able to say there's some things and some toxic things that I'm not going to take into 2025, and I'll make some adjustments because I'm an aware woman, I'm an aware man, and I'm going to make the necessary changes. So Patrick, I absolutely love this. It's not about a resolution, it's about a revolution. Ooh, I absolutely love that. And if you're not creating that video today, my man, I might jack that. that was absolutely fire. You guys, I'm gonna pull up my screen here in a second, and I wanted to ask you guys before we get rolling, and obviously I always want to be humble. I always want to make sure that we are coming together, that I am growing, we are growing. And just so you guys know the origins of this started 3.5, 4 years ago. Some of you have been here since the inception of Keep It Moving Group Coaching. If I look on the screen, I can see someone like Otis has been here for a long time. Going through Mama San's been here for a long time. And by the way, you guys, if you don't have your camera on, it's January 3rd, it's 2025. I don't want to have to say it over and over again. Be here, be present, put your cameras on. But anyways, we started this group coaching session, and it was just script role play session 3 times a week, and it was a small group, 2 to 5 people. You guys have heard me say that, and it is what it is now. We're going to have some amazing guest speakers. In a couple weeks, I have a lady by the name of Nikki Miller who's going to come on and do an amazing group presentation for us, and I'm going to have tons of new speakers come on this year, and that's my goal to you guys. But what are some things that you feel you need in 2025 from me as your coach, as somebody that is driven by your success, driven by seeing you guys succeed and make money and provide for your families and travel and have leverage and spend more time with the kids? Like, that's my excitement. That's why I sit in this chair. But what are some things that you guys feel like you need from a coaching environment this year? First off, what do you need from me? And that's a humble ask. And then what do you need from this group? How can the group better show up for you? What do you need when you come into these sessions? I would love to hear from you guys, and feel free to just grab the mic, take yourself off of mute. Tell me what you need from me as a coach and what you need from this environment in 2025. And my hope is that we can come correct and meet in the middle. Let's go, KD. And then since I do have more people throwing their hands up, just put an emoji up so I can see your hands. So KD, kick us off.
Yeah. So for me personally, I would say if you can add more to the script and role plays, that way we can um, kind of work on like if somebody's making calls or like work on different scripts, and we can tackle down those objections when we come in front of the sellers or buyers.
Okay, good. And just so you guys know, script role play sessions will be back, and those will be we meet on the 4th next week, senior leadership. But moving forward on the calendar, you'll see an exclusive session for scripts and role play. We threw around some different times, but it's kind of hit and miss. But we will do some of that here, KD. But there will be an exclusive session every single week for you guys to tap in for exclusive script role plays. We'll do buyers, we'll do sellers, we'll do investors, we'll do people that are on the fence wanting to wait, all things. So I appreciate you saying that. We definitely will come correct. Let's go Ilona, and then we'll go Oda.
I would love to have a either once a month or bi-weekly systems check. We did this with Zillow. Patrick shared his email template. That changed the game for me. I think that should have been shared with people who are not on Zillow. And I think that we all come back to this, issue of systems. And everybody has a little bit different way of utilizing the tools that are available. So it'd be really great to have once a month where we're talking about the tools that we're using and how people are using them.
All right, cool. So I love this. So once a month, do a systems deep dive, and we'll just take, maybe it's a high note, maybe it is Real Scout, maybe it's Follow a Boss, best practices. We'll dive right into that. Maybe it's MailChimp, but okay. So systems deep dive, something that you guys would definitely benefit from. And that is going to take a lot from you guys, meaning that if you are raising your hand and this is a topic that you truly, truly want to see on the agenda, then I need your guys' participation. When you're here, that means camera on. You guys are in a stationary place. You guys can share your camera. You can walk us through your tutorial like Patrick has done and others have done. So yeah, so systems deep dive, I'm all for that, but I'm going to need you guys to really, really participate in that practice. And so good stuff. Otis, what do you have? And anybody else, feel free to throw their hand up. Let's get you guys involved.
Great contributions, KD and Alona. I like both of those. Kind of took somewhere I wanted to go, but I think back to the hot seat and back here on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, depending on where we're moving the needle or talking to lenders and stuff. But I think that on the seat, having to perform in front of us, I think that's been very key to end off last year. So I think that we should keep up with that this year. Just look at Brandy, still so powerful from about almost a week ago, right? So just imagine if we can get everybody up from that comfort zone to being able to shoot the shit on here, because if you guys literally can't do that in front of ourselves right here, how are you going to articulate that to any client moving forward? So this year is all about getting out of your comfort zone, really getting in there, because if you can't literally do it in front of us, who are you doing it in front of? You know what I mean? So this is the ultimate accountability. And I think that that's what made me a better agent when I started leveling up, is we had to really get on here and you held nothing back. It was like, no, we're not moving on until you go through this. So I think that, failing here is getting us going good to, not fail in front of clients in particular, future business.
Man, I got the goosebumps right now because of what you're saying. I really connect with it. I'm all for this 100%. And, I love how that moment, and there's been many moments from so many of you on this call, but it's what was recent, the call with Brandy. And if you haven't seen that Shark Tank moment, go and watch her video on her social. And it's funny, Brandy, because people actually thought that you were on Shark Tank. I was reading some of the comments like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. When was this episode? But it had such a powerful impact. And it's funny that you say this, because one of the things that we're going to do today, and this is going to be last and going to be later during the call, but New Year's resolution or New Year's reach out to our consumers. What do your calls sound like right now? When you call a client right now that you're just, touching base, Happy New Year, how you doing? Like, where are we leading that conversation? And what are your predictions for 2025? What is the housing market going to look like in your specific area, or the Bay Area, or Central Valley, or Sacramento, or wherever you're dialing in from? And I think that if you can have a true understanding of that conversation right now, it's going to separate you in the next couple months. If a consumer says, is it a good time now? What are your predictions for this year? What can we expect as a buyer or a seller? Shit, we're going to have that conversation today. So wonderful. I love the contributions. Anybody else, humbly asking, anybody else need more from the community or need something from me as we embark in 2025? And speak now or forever hold your peace, because I can't fix what I don't know. Anybody else? Going once, going twice? All right, cool. I have an exercise for you guys. It's actually more of a commitment from each of you. I'm gonna pull up my screen here right now. And I want to do this as a kind of like a foundational for us, like 10 commandments, commitments for us as we grow together, because you guys spend some time with me. You spend time with me 3 times a week, 3 hours a week, and I'll never take that lightly. But how are you showing up for these sessions? Are you the person that has been here countless amounts of times? And when I encourage people to speak, to give their contributions, to give their dialogue, to give their insights, you go silent. You never throw your hand up for whatever reason. Maybe you're nervous because this environment is public speaking and you are frightened to public speak. If you're that person that comes to these calls and is here and is receiving, what I want to ask you to do, what I want to encourage you to do, is step up and start raising your hand. I promise you this, and please somebody speak to this. I promise you, when you start speaking here, your confidence level will raise. I promise you. How do I know? Because I've had a giant lab. I've had a giant lab of people just like you in this environment that have grown tremendously when they have the courage to speak up here. So if you're that person that's on here, never has their camera on, never raises their hand, I want to get you guys involved in the conversation this year, because your voice is equally as important as an Otis, as a Patrick, or as other people that frequently contribute on these calls. But I want to go through a couple commitments with each of you. This is a new year, and it is the same you. December 31st to January 1st didn't create a new KD. It didn't create a new Otis. It didn't create a new Ilona. You are that same exact person. But everything is going to be based on your standards that you hold for yourself in 2025. It is not about a resolution. This is about the standards that you hold yourself to in life, in business, in health, in relationships, in your fitness. Everything is based on a standard. And the moment that you move that standard, for whatever reason, is the moment that you no longer have a standard. So you need to make sure that your standards are set very high and you do not waver from those standards. And I want you guys to have some commitments written down. And I want you guys to write this down. I, Patrick, I, Otis, I, Princess, I, Glenn, commit to keep it moving group coaching and into the days and times. Now, if you can be here 3 times a week, cool. I love that. I encourage that. I want that. I want to see you. I want your energy in this room. But if you can't, then what does that commitment look like? And how are you going to show up for these calls, right? What are you going to do prior before you get on these calls? Because I promise you, you have something that you're thinking, feeling, that can contribute the growth of other people that are on this call and the thousands and thousands of people that will see these calls in the future. So I, Erica Lou, commit to group coaching and then enter these days. And I want you to write that down. I want you to be very clear with your own personal commitment. Now, I'm going to have Ashley Jurovich read this out loud for the group. Ashley, are you there? Sorry, I didn't see your face.
I'm here.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
All right, so Ashley, go ahead and read this out to everybody.
I commit to choosing my state before starting the session.
Okay, so what does that mean? When I say choosing my state, what does that mean?
I think of Tony Robbins. He would jump up and down. He would be focused. He'd be ready. Whatever he's done for the day, he's ready to give it his all when he goes on stage. So same thing here. You're ready to listen. You're in a certain mindset, and you're going to choose that prior to logging on.
Totally. You guys, that energy is super, super important. I do this, like I said, did it so much consciously that I can now do it subconsciously. But some of you are just starting to do the work of mental conditioning, and all of this stuff is a little bit new to you. And I get that. People like Ashley, been doing this for a while. People like Roxanne, been doing this for a while. But I want you guys to commit to the state that you were going to choose before you get in here. Now listen, moms, dads, I know the rush of the morning. I know the busyness of the morning. I know the chaoticness of the morning. So what can you do to make all that a little bit more balanced? I taught Silas now how to make his own Eggo waffles. So I don't have to go down there and make his Eggo waffles. And he was super, super excited. But all the things that I do prior to this call are set, they're planned, they're written. I got my stuff queued up in my my tabs on my computer. So same thing for you guys. I commit to choosing this state before I hop in these sessions. Now let's go to Otis. Otis, read this one out loud.
I commit to focusing and shutting out any distractions during this time.
All right, my man. So speak to that one. So you do a really good job at this. That's why I'm having you speak to this. You're always present.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I really from day one, from joining this team, well, coming back to join the team, because I passed on the team the first go around, and I thought that this was like just where I needed to be from the perspective of everybody's collective and everything. So I really take a lot from this. That's why I show up every day. Sometimes, I could be focused business wise, but mentally I'm drained out, or something else is going on. But coming in here, hearing somebody's perspective of what they're going through humbles me down. It gets me back focused. So I really want to try every day. Like, I start my day off. This is my day off. Starting my day off with you guys here. It used to be the gym and then here, but since I've been hurt over the last couple of weeks and I've been able to do so, I really want to hone in this time. So for this hour, I make sure that I don't care if my son's flipping on the couch or doing whatever. I want to be here 100% for you guys, because I feel like sometimes when I'm here, it helps out other people just as it helps me. So that's what I like to do every morning, because this starts me off. It fills my cup. And then if I choose for it to be lesser filled, then that's on me. But I like to start with this high impact with you guys every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
I love it. I love it, my man. I think that it's important that you guys focus on locking in. And I get it. Sometimes you're driving, but you can lock into a podcast when you're driving. And I understand that. But if you're choosing the state to be here and you're choosing to put aside this time, then I want you guys to lock in. So really good stuff. Let's go over to Patrick. Patrick, I need you to read this next one.
I commit to dismantling limiting beliefs of what is possible.
All right, man. So speak to this. I think that you've done an amazing job at like ridding yourself of any self-talk that is limiting, as well as any, outwardly speaking about this and communication about this. So talk to us about this.
Yeah. I guess the only thing I can say is don't let other people's rhetoric be yours. You're the only one that knows your potential, and make sure that you dig deep to, see your true self and prove yourself right,
Yeah, I absolutely love this, Patrick, and appreciate your contribution. Let me just get a raise of hands. How many of you surprised yourself in 2024? In meaning, how many of you surprised yourself of what you were actually capable of? Like, you surprised yourself, like, damn, I knew it was there, but man, when I look back, I am so excited about what I was able to do and who I was able to become. And there's probably, if you stop and look, there was probably a belief at some time, maybe it was last year or the last couple of years, of something that was hindering you or enabling your growth, that you were able to move past, and you became a different person, and you became a different thinker, and you became a different doer. I promise you. And those things are going to be constant in our life. There's still limiting beliefs, and this is going to be a work in progress until the end of our days. And so I appreciate you sharing. Really, really good stuff. Brandy, I'm going to go to you next. I'm going to have you share or read this, what's on the screen.
I commit to being an active participant in this process. I will take notes, contribute, and have the courage to raise my hand up and speak up.
All right, Brandy, I call on you because you are still relatively new to this space, but you've had a very, very loud voice. And so talk to me about this slide. What does it mean to be here, to contribute, to have the courage to raise your hand and speak up? Talk about this.
Well, if you're not interacting, I feel like deep down inside, all of us have something to contribute, whether we want to or not. Like, there is something deep down, you have a thought, and if you're not putting your thoughts out there, how are you going to manifest it? How are you going to bring that energy? How are you going to make the impossible possible if you're not even willing to raise your hand in a group of people that should be providing a safe space for you to do that? Kind of just like Otis said earlier, like being able to interact and do it here in this moment. How are we going to exchange those ideas and leverage each other in this space? How are we going to go do that anywhere else? And it's a team effort. You guys are my people. So if I can't come at you guys and be like, hey, and then like that Shark Tank moment, holding me accountable and saying, do it right now. It was like, all right, like that was huge. And like, that's how you earn like respect and trust and loyalty and all these values that we say we have in this business. But if we can't interact here on an hour phone, not even an hour phone call, well, then,
Wow. Well said. when we put her and put you to the test in a Shark Tank moment or other moments, what we shouldn't be doing is scrambling in that moment to figure out what to say. You're already deeply connected to with it. You already understand the market. You already understand your cause, your purpose, your crusade. So if anybody at any time says, hey, how do you feel about that? Go now. You should be able to feel confident enough to say, I'm ready to go. Brandy clearly knew what she was feeling and was able to articulate that. Do you think that she practiced that? Absolutely. When I asked Otis the same thing, he came correct because he had thought about it, he was aligned with it, and he was able to articulate it. And what a great place to do it in this environment. Let's go to the next person. I'm gonna go to let's go to Glenn. Glenn, I'm gonna go to you, my man. Go ahead and share this.
I commit to sharing my knowledge with others.
Here's the cool thing about this environment, and welcome, Glenn. You're going to hear a lot of different things, perspectives. There's going to be vulnerability. We're going to share ideas, thoughts, and strategies. But when you leave this call, it's important that you're sharing it with other people. So, Glenn, my recommendation is that you create videos from it. You do videos in your own voice about what you heard here. Also, doing screenshots of this. I've seen a lot of you doing this, taking whatever you heard here and then sharing it on your Instagram. And so if you learn something here, share it with others, share it with the world, because I promise you there's something powerful. And Glenn, thank you for being here. I want to ask you, my man, being a seasoned veteran in this industry, what are your expectations from this group?
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to working with all of you and helping you to become better people. It's not just about business, but like this morning, you all have amazing energy. From the very first time I set foot into your space in Oakland, I was like, this is where I belong. And these are people that I belong with. And that it all starts with changing your mind, right? You can't do anything if you don't change your mind. So using words like try and might and figure out, that's all bullshit, right? If you put that in your mind, then your subconscious doesn't know the difference. It's like, well, I've got an out, right? I said I'm going to try. So if I don't hit it, then no problem. So I encourage everyone to as you move into this year, to start by changing your mind. Eliminate try, eliminate maybe, eliminate figure it out. Just speak it into existence, and the rest will fall into place.
God, I absolutely love it, Glenn. You speak my language. Thank you. I appreciate you being here, and thanks for choosing us. Let's go to Brandy, Chicken Mom. She loves to public speak. That's why I'm doing this. Let's go, Chicken Mom. There she is.
I commit to keeping it moving towards my goals, dreams, and vision.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk to us about this, because that's the hashtag for this group. When you read this, talk to me about this. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's everything. It's what makes it so amazing when we get on these calls, because you get up in the morning and we're talking about our goals, visions, dreams. So when you go out to get on calls, that's fresh in your brain. And I think it keeps you motivated and positive and makes you able to smile when you're making those calls, not be nervous and uncomfortable, because your smile does radiate through the phone. And I feel like it makes it more comfortable to talk to people.
That's right. Here's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to be real with every single person on this call. If you have dreams, if you have goals, if you have aspirations of growth, then I support that. But I will not want this more for you than you want it for yourself. I'm not going to convince you of your success, convince you of all the things that you want to do and achieve in this life and in this business. That's not my goal. My goal is to support you on the journey to where you are heading. I don't want this more for you than you want it for yourself. And that is the biggest challenge as a coach. When you see so much in somebody, but they're not unwilling to stay consistent, have the discipline, and just do the gritty, scared, imperfect work, because I know what is possible in this game. Nothing I tell you guys is written in theory. What I tell you, what we do here, is market tested. This stuff is market tested. That's why fortress of a mindset is the utmost importance to me and to this environment. So Brianna, I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you sharing. I think that was the last one. You guys, These are the commitments. As we go into the new year, I want to make sure that we are clear of what to expect from this group and what to expect from each other. If you guys are here and you have homies that are on the call that never speak up, you never have their camera on, but when you saw them in the office, they were talking about something or a strategy or an approach or something that they did, nudge them, be like, bro, homie, girl, speak up. There is something in you that somebody else can gain from these calls. This is about collective energy. This is not about all of my energy. I promise you, I'll bring the energy, but you guys have so many beautiful contributions about life, about discipline, about parenting, about trauma, about drama, about all the things that you've been able to accomplish, about your systems, your tools, your approaches. I promise you, you guys are a treasure trove of information for each other. And that's why your contributions are so important. So as we move into 2025 and as we grow this community, I want you guys to give nudges to your homies on this call. Give them nudges to say, hey, when you're on the call on Friday, bring that up. Throw your hand up. Come on, big dog, throw your hand up. Get involved in this conversation. That's what I want from you guys. Does that make sense? All right, cool. How many people have some aspirations to get in better health in 2025? Please raise your hand if you have aspirations to get in better health or sustain the health that you have already created for yourself in 2025. So please throw your hand up. Okay, cool. I'm on that same exact course with you guys. So I wanted to provide you a couple different things. First recommendation is before we get into our New Year's resolution, or excuse me, New Year reach out with consumers. First thing I want everybody to do. Now, if you're super, super young, you may not need to, but I would encourage you to do this. Go and get your blood work. Please go and get your blood work. I just want you to get your blood work so you can see what's going on inside of your body, because you may not know. You may not know. There might be something in your body that maybe you're feeling a certain way, or maybe you're tired or you're sluggish, or something's going on with your kidney or your liver. You just don't know. And don't be too stubborn to say, oh, I don't ever go to the doctor. Get over yourself. Go to the fucking doctor and go get your blood work. I promise you some important things will be determined. I saw Rose shaking her head here. I saw Cynthia shaking her head here. You guys just go get your blood work and make sure that you guys are operating on all cylinders. I also want to encourage you guys to do a couple things. And let me pull up my screen here. I want to encourage you guys to do a metabolic type testing. That way you can see exactly what your own metabolic type is. And then when you're speaking to your nutritionist or whoever's in your corner, helping you really, really shape your health for 2025, they know exactly what's going on internally with you, so they can make proper suggestions based on your metabolic type. Now, I'm not an expert on this. This is something that I'm committed to leaning into in 2025. Because what I want to do is I want to reflect more of what's going on internally versus what is seen externally and what I feel externally. So I want you guys to do a metabolic type screening on yourself. And I'm doing this because I care about everybody on this call. And also I want to create this, or excuse me, I want to provide this for you. Oftentimes people tell us to eat healthier and all these things, and we're looking at losing weight and we're thinking we're going to do more cardio, we're going to do this, but a lot of times it's just we're not eating the right things. And you guys are always on the run. You're always on the go. You're showing homes. Oftentimes it's easy just to stop to eat shitty food. Raise your hand if you oftentimes have to just stop to eat shitty food because you didn't plan ahead. Raise your hand if that's you. Good. Falls in a lot of our categories. So I was provided with this list, the proper food selection. And now, which is really cool about this is it's going to tell you like, do this versus that. It is very easy. Read over this. It's going to tell you what the recommendations are. You'll see, dairy products here, fish, fruit, all the impacts that this has on your body, on inflammation, all these different things to make sure that you're making the right choices for your health in 2025. So I'm going to provide this for you guys as you go to the to the grocery store, as you go to the market and you're looking at things, like really be conscious of what you're putting in your body, because everything that you're putting in the body is going to show up in an amount of energy that you have to give this business. And a lot of you have some really, really lofty goals for 2025, and you want to be more present with your kids and your family and all these things. Well, if your vessel is not running on the right fuel, then what's going to happen is you're going to get tired, you're going to get burnt out, things are going to slip through the cracks, you're not going to have good memory, things are going to just start to fall apart, and that's the last thing I want for you guys. So I'm going to put this here in the chat down below, and I'm going to have you guys look at that. If you guys want to hire a nutritional coach, you can. You met Max at Focus and Fire. I would highly recommend that you at least get on a call with him to do a consult. But before I go any further, anybody have anything to say about this, any contributions or anything that they could recommend on this thread? Anybody? And feel free, you guys. I would love to hear your contributions. Let's go, Patrick.
Yeah, just on the topic, I also use this app called Yuka. You can just go and scan items in your groceries, wherever, and it'll tell you if, how healthy it is. It'll be a red mark, yellow mark, or whatever, based on the ingredients they have. I like it. It helps out a lot.
Yeah, man, I absolutely love this. Really good stuff. There's also an app out there. I'm going to try to find it on my notes really quick, and I'll find it. MyFitnessPal Premium. So you guys can start to track all of the data, all the things that you're doing in the gym, walking, running, calisthenics, whatever it is. MyFitnessPal. And then make sure you do your metabolic type. And now you have a really cool grocery list to at least get you guys' thoughts in alignment with what should be going in your body and what should not be going in your body. Let's go Keelan, then we'll go D Bledsoe.
I would say for anybody that's really starting and trying to flesh out their body and do right, a detox would be good, like a fast. Starting off with the fast, maybe starting off with some watermelon or melons to begin, and then going into that water fast and then breaking that with a smoothie just for like a week or something. Take 3 days, 2 days with watermelon or fresh fruits, then 3 days with the fast, and then 2 days with the smoothie, and you'll feel way better. I did it a long time ago, dropped like 10 pounds of weight, and the weight has never came back. Even if I did go back to eating shitty and all that, still working out and stuff, but the weight that I lost during that fast has never returned. So,
man, I love this. Great recommendation, man. I appreciate it. D Bledsoe, let's go over to you, and then we're going to shift gears in the conversation.
On a serious note, like working out just feeds the rest of your day. It gives you energy, and you're more motivated to stay active. And I've noticed that as I've been in the gym, I think close to 2 years now, consistently 3 times a week. It's a game changer in terms of energy. And then on Patrick's note, a little unseriously, but seriously, that Yucca app is the devil. My wife uses that against me every day, telling me what I can eat and what I can't because it's poisonous. No, but the Yucca app is a good resource too. It'll really break it down for you. Apparently, America, we have really bad standards as it pertains to food, so that's a helpful tool.
Man, we have horrible standards when it comes to our food and what's in our food. It is when you start going down this path and you start to say, you know what? As much as I want to build this business, as much as I want to grow, 2025, if you do that same level of research and committed effort in your nutrition and what's going in your body and how we are actually burning and that carbs are good for you, all these things, you guys, it's going to be an eye opener for you. And some of the things that you're doing right now, you think that you're healthy, are probably not serving you. And I'll speak from experience. I thought I was running at a very, very high level, fuck around and find out I had kidney disease, right? And so it's important to me because of the things that are happening to me personally. So if I can do anything as a coach on this end to say, hey, this is the track that I'm on, I want to encourage you guys, man, it's the least that I can do for all of us to make sure that we're running a very, very healthy vessel. Let's go to Ashley, and then we're going to shift gears in the conversation.
So because of my health condition, I've been down this rabbit hole for like 3 or 4 years now. But what I found out is because of decision fatigue or just forgetfulness, sometimes the ball just drops and you eat crap, right? So What I'm doing this year is I'm on Instacart and I'm creating meal lists. So if I say, oh, I'm going to have this recipe for dinner, it's already in there. All I have to do is go in there and press. I don't have to think, what ingredients do I need? What am I allowed to eat? What am I not? It's just straight to Instacart. And you can either Instacart it or you can use that as a shopping list when you go to the store, but it creates less friction. So it's easier to stick to.
Yeah, I absolutely love this. And you know what? Ashley is a great person that if you ever want to talk about health, or if you ever want to talk research about health, she will send you like 90 screenshots like, oh my God, I've been going down the rabbit hole on this. I've been doing my research on this. I absolutely love it because she's so thorough. And I'm like, okay, Ashley, I love it. You know, we talked about NAD last week. I was like, what exactly is NAD? And then she sent me all these things. I was like, awesome, cool. Now everything on my social media is NADs and NADs. And so I appreciate you, Ashley. Let's go to on two, and then we'll shift gears in the conversation.
So I learned this at a pretty young age from a health education teacher that you should challenge yourself to not go down the aisle and you just go around the perimeter of a grocery store. So that's where all the true like fruit and vegetables and all the good food that you should be eating, and everything else in the aisle, they're all processed sugar food. So you can challenge yourself that way. And if you don't go down the aisle and just do around the perimeter of the grocery store, I think it helps. And I often do that. I don't even like to go to the grocery store, but I do that when I do.
Man, I love this. When you go to other countries and you're traveling, and when you say you're going to the market is outside and it's fish and it's fruit and it's all this great fresh stuff. You're like, this is incredible. And then when we go to the market here, it's vastly different, super processed. So you guys, I love this conversation. I also, one more time, I'm going to plug it. No, not one more time, because we're going to be reading this in intensity. But if you don't have this book, please just buy this book and just go through it with me. I want to encourage you guys. If you're not a reader, actual textbook, then fine, get the Audible. But this book is great because it forces you to do the workshops. That's why I told Ashley, I said, get the actual book because he wants you to write certain things out of it. Patrick, you're shaking your head. Yes. Have you read this book?
Yeah, it's actually I left it in the office too in the Daily City. So if you guys want to grab it and take it, definitely recommend it.
Awesome. Awesome. Whoa, Glenn, sorry, bro. I'm just seeing this. That was you. How long?
That was 2022.
What? Okay, so talk to us a little bit about this, my man. I had no idea that you were that big.
Yeah, so chubby my entire life, so my whole life. And then I didn't put weight. Everyone's like, oh, you put weight on during COVID. No, I went into COVID with that weight and well over 300 pounds in my late 40s. And I just decided, you know what? I was on every diet. I did keto and deal a meal and counting everything. And it wasn't until I started with that mind shift that I was like, you know what? You're not an idiot. You're a smart dude. You can figure this out. And literally lost it, 1, 2, 3 pounds at a time. But 140 pounds later, I was taking handfuls of pills, sleep apnea, so I had the mask and all of that. And now I have nothing. I don't have to take any pills unless I want to. So
Wow. All right. So the question of the hour is how you did it.
changed my mind. I don't deny myself anything. I eat whatever I want, whenever I want. I do it in moderation. The biggest thing was portion control, and then just understanding, and it's true for all things in life, right? Understanding that if I put that in my mouth, what were the consequences going to be? But it wasn't a punitive journey for me, right? It was, if I lost a pound, I celebrated that pound. If I gained 3 pounds, I wasn't like, you dumbass. You shouldn't have eaten that extra piece of pizza. It wasn't punitive. It was like, all right, you know what? You lost 1 pound. You can, or you gained that 3 pounds. Lose them again, right? You got this. You can do this. You know how to do it.
Really powerful message, man. You look incredible. I would have never known. Great job on all of your accomplishments. Was that a hand up, Kelly? I saw this going on. Were you just saying hi, or was that an actual hand up for a contribution? You're still muted. If you just scroll your screen up like this, you'll be able to see the unmute. It's kind of hard on the phone sometimes. It's all right. I saw the shit. We'll pass. Come back if you can find that mute button. But let's do this, you guys. I want to spend the next 16 minutes and I want to ask you guys, and Kelly, keep on working on that because I'm sure you have a great contribution. But I want to ask you guys, What are you saying right now to your consumers? When you're making calls and you're, Happy New Year, whatever that sounds like for you guys, as you're diving into your database, your active leads, your warm leads, whatever that looks like when you're speaking to a consumer right now, how are you explaining the market and what are your predictions for 2025 housing market? What are your predictions for this year? For example, if you're speaking to somebody in San Francisco, I believe that we're going to see a major uptick in San Francisco business this year. Why? Because all of these work from home orders are being lifted. So many people are going back into the office. It's going to put a higher demand on the condos that we've seen sitting for the last couple of years. We're going to see those condos start to go up, single family residences, so on and so forth. So there's going to be some impact. So I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear your vantage point. What are your predictions for 2025? And how are you having these conversations with consumers right now as you start the year? So I'm going to go to Jen W. I don't see your face here. Jen, where are you? Where are you? Jen, are you there? I saw your hand go up. Jen W, go twice. All right. I don't see her anymore. All right, cool. Cynthia, rapid fire. I want to hear from you. When you're speaking with your consumers right now, what are your predictions for the market in 2025? And what are you saying to your consumers as we start this new year? And Kelly, don't go too far. I saw your hand up. I saw your mute off. Let's go, Cynthia.
So funny that we're having this conversation because I just made a recommendation yesterday for a client that has a condo that's just sitting in San Francisco to offer that condo as a corporate, to rent for rental as a corporate rental because of what's happening in the market, the fact that the companies are coming back and they want their people there. So if they're coming from wherever they're coming from, that they could rent out her apartment, her condo that's just vacant. It's just sitting. And I mean, I think that's a great source. That's what I was telling her. It's like the income is incredible that you could
All
get
right,
from
so
that.
I get where you're going with this. I want to hear the exact language. If you have a consumer right now that has a property that they're probably wanting to or needing to sell, talk to us about your exact predictions for 2025 as we go into the new year.
Well, the prediction is based on the fact that the properties are, well, not the properties themselves, but that the companies are making a comeback. And so people who are at home are now having to go back into the office. So because of that, they're going to need a place to live. And that place to live is a place that that you yourself can market. I mean, that you can market that and you could benefit from that rental, putting that property on rental.
What are the average days on markets for condos in the Mission?
I'm gonna make a guesstimate because I haven't done the research, but I'm gonna guess it's gonna be more than 30 days. And because it's a comeback, I would give it 60 to 90 days. Just because, but once the market starts to move, then it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be a hot market and it won't be that long.
All right. Yeah, I love this conversation. I would refine that. And if you already have a consumer that's thinking this way, start doing the research. So when you're having that conversation, and then now that you have the information, make a video on it. Hey guys, I've been doing my research in San Francisco. Here's a couple predictions that I have over the course of the next couple months. What are your thoughts on the market in San Francisco or wherever else? I think it makes for really, really good content. So really good stuff. Before we lose you, Kelly, let's go over to you really quick. You had your hand up from earlier. Cynthia, thank you.
Yeah, well, I moved on from that, but yeah, I just wanted to say as far as like for my sellers, I'm super duper pumped. Within my team, I have a company that will come in, do all of the necessary like remodeling, upgrades, everything needed to get it in tip-top shape and get that home on the market ready to sell. They have said that this 25 housing market is going to increase the home sales are going to increase by 5%. I also have an in-house staging company. So everything you need to sell your home and get maximum profit in 25, I got your back. We could take it out of escrow. So what's holding you back? Let's go.
Okay, good. Listen, you guys, there's some raw energy with Kelly. Kelly sold 12 homes, not really having too many systems, doing it raw. Obviously, she has great communication skills, she has great sales skills, but we're going to refine her skills this year. We're going to get her more systematized. And I mean, 20, 25 deals, it should be a given. So really, really good stuff. let's go over to who else wants to go? Predictions for 2025. What are we saying to consumers right now as you're reaching out? It's not just, hey, Happy New Year. Let me know if you need anything. No, Tom, 2025 is your year as a buyer, as a seller, and here's why. What are you saying to your consumers right now? Because all of us should be making phone calls to consumers. I'm making calls to agents, a little different of a call, but I'm making calls just like you guys. So who else wants to take the mic? And if you don't take the mic within 5 seconds, I'm just going to assign somebody. All right, let's go. Ro, and I need 2 other people. Ro will be next. Patrick will be next. And then, once again, remember, go back to the commitments.
I was going to build on what Kelly was saying.
Oh, no, hold on, Ro. We're not done
what?
yet. No, 1 second.
Oh, sorry.
I need one more person to throw their hand up. There it is. All right, Glenn, appreciate you. Let's go, Ro.
So I'm telling sellers their house has to look tight. It can't be, oh, we're going to leave this junk room with all the stuff in it. There's going to be more homes hitting the market and they need to stand out. So let's get it cleaned up. Let's get it staged. I've been talking with Revive on a project. So bringing those resources, letting them know can help them get it cleaned up. As Kelly said, can come out of escrow. They don't have to have any upfront costs. And then just building my network of stagers, like, hey, I have a stager that can work with us, what have you, someone to clean the yard, and then with buyers, I'm saying, let's start looking. There's going to be more people are now have saved money, got their credit up, scores up, they're ready to go. So there's going to be more competition. So we have to think about what sellers credits we're going to ask for, what price we're going to, if there's something you really want. We're going to have to be competitive in what we offer. So those are some of the things I'm sharing.
So I love this. So it's almost along the conversations. Hey, Tom, how you doing? Happy New Year. Wanted to check in. Wanted to talk to you about your 2025 strategy. Here's my thoughts and here's my recommendations. Let's go. Right. And that's what our consumers are relying on. They're relying on you to help them realize the reality of the market, right? Because they hear all this stuff. So you have an opportunity as you start the new year to say, here's some of my predictions. And here's what I know is going to happen here's what I believe is going to happen over the course of the next 3 months. Somebody said 5% increase. I would look at that and I would just go down the rabbit hole of all of your market updates. And what we're seeing in every single local as well as national publication that's speaking about the real estate market is that we are going to see a significant increase, 5, 7, 8% in some markets year over year. So really, really good conversation. Let's go, Patrick. Princess, I'm going to leave you in charge for 1 second. Let's go, Patrick. And then Glenn, you're on deck.
Yeah, so for just buyers, I went to a couple of tours just 2 days ago, and the main thing that I said is, I'm in the San Francisco region. There's 3 points, we're at a 30% discount right now with condos. Second point is that people are coming back next year or this year, eventually. Offices are going to be filled up. So chances are you're not going to see those discounts go lower, right? So as an investor or as somebody that's looking at real estate, this is going to be it's going to be a good investment regardless. Interest rates are a little higher than usual. So that's another aspect that we can look at as well. But overall, I feel like it's just a good time for you to go ahead and jump in and go for it.
All right. Thank you, Patrick, for your contribution. I do like that part where you mentioned that those deals are not going to last. And that's true. A lot of people, they wait and they keep waiting and then they lose out on those deals. But thank you for your contribution. And Glenn, we'll go ahead and go over to you.
Thank you, Princess.
Yeah, so I've been telling my buyers, look, you have been sitting on the sidelines for too long. You wanted to sit through all last year and you sat waiting for those interest rates to come down and they went up. I can't predict the future, but I can predict today. And what I do know today is that houses are sitting on the market, and I'm in the Tri-Valley, so Livermore, Pleasant, and Dublin. Houses are sitting on the market for anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks longer than they were this time last year. So now is the time to move. There's lots of room for us to negotiate and get into those homes that were difficult to get before. And we can't predict those interest rates, so get in while we know what they are today, and you can refinance when they get better.
Glenn, I absolutely love this sentiment. Here's what I want you to do. If you have past clients over the last 1 to 3 years, do yourself a favor and do them a favor as well. Go and get current values on all of your consumers and go back to the sales price. Let's say the sales price was $650. that current value of the home is, 750, 800, 900, whatever it is, right? Some markets going to be higher than others. And then calculate all of that and start making videos about that and start talking to your consumers about that are on the fence. Tom, you actually remind me of my client, Mary. She had a similar thought about wanting to wait, but she purchased her home in 2023. She had a higher interest rate, but I just did her value right now because I wanted to see where she stood. She already has 200,000 positive equity in just the last 2 short years. What other investment are you going to make right now that's going to give you that type of return? Well, none. Exactly. That's why waiting is not serving you. Time in the market is better than timing the market. So let's go out there and find that home. I think that it's important that if you have past clients, start to dig into all that data and start to share that data with others as well as on your videos. Hey, over the last couple of years, my clients have been able to gain X amount of equity, X amount of growth. I think that those are powerful messages to share with your consumers. Let's go to Liz Norton, and then we're going to wrap it up.
So what I'm seeing is that there's a lot of sellers who bought during the pandemic or shortly before that are looking to either upgrade or sell their home. So there is a lot of, I guess you could say, pent up demand on people like millennials that bought during the pandemic that are actually looking to sell and get into another home now. As far as interest rates go, they did say that we're going to have a couple rate drop in the next year, but it's not probably going to be anywhere near what we were expecting. But there is still a lot of pent up buyer demand. But we are going to see an increase in home inventory upwards of, I even read 9%. So.
Yeah, and you're right. Depending on your market, you're going to see a surge. And so I think it's going to be a really, really strong year for us. Well said, Liz. You guys, one more thing before we close out. I wanted to share this with you guys. I've obviously dropped a ton of information on you today, and thank you guys for contributing. Thank you for all of your insights. But I wanted to share this with you. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? All right, here it is. I wanted to share this with you guys because I'm going to be creating a video on this, but I wanted to share this with you. Feel free to take a screenshot of this on the left-hand side. This is how we ended our year last year. As you can see, we did $574 million as a company. And when you correlate that to our 2023 production, it's only $16 million away from what we hit the year prior with 49% less agents. So you guys are busy or better, meaning that your per agent productivity is growing, and you guys are showing that no matter what happens in the market, we're always going to find a way to thrive, not just hold on, buckle down, and survive. So really great job. More information to come on that, but I want to give you guys a quick snap of that so you guys can see it and be very proud of what you were able to accomplish. Let's get one key takeaway from our time together. Sorry, say again. That was a
Elias.
yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Can I just add one little thing here?
Of course, honey.
So we're just speaking about, I think it's really important to use the word, I use the word portfolio check-in. So I check in with my clients on their portfolio because I like to tell them, I'm their real estate agent, but I'm also their real estate portfolio manager. So I take a look at their portfolio. We going to be selling maybe family.
Hey, Roxanne, cut your camera because
or just
hey, hold on, cut your camera because your audio's going in and out. Cut your camera really quick and we'll get better messaging.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay, good. Okay. So I was saying I use a portfolio manager. So I'm managing the real estate portfolio. So my check-in twice a year with my clients is assuring that I have their portfolio performing at the highest level we could have it performing at. So we're taking a look at what their returns are on, for example, a single family home rental. Are we going to be using the backyard to build out an ADU, or are we going to just exchange that property for a duplex or an apartment? And then also just checking in with like their life status. Do they need a bigger home, a smaller home? So I just like to use the word portfolio manager, portfolio check-in.
God, I absolutely love that. You guys, portfolio manager, equity report, all those things that separates you as a true guide throughout not only now, but for the rest of their life, to being able to help them manage the mass amounts of equity that they've built in their homes over the last since the purchase. So you guys,
and then they always go back to you because they know like you're the one helping them manage their portfolio, and they're less likely to randomly pick another realtor to all of a sudden start working with, because that realtor doesn't know what you've already done for them building their portfolio.
I love it. You guys, I have a hard stop right at 9:30, but listen, great kickoff call, you guys. 2025 is our year to take over. Thank you guys for being here, for contributing to dialing into our commitments. And remember those commitments and what we said. And remember to give people nudges, to contribute, to get involved, to put their cameras on, to be here, to be in this moment, to be present, and to keep it moving towards our dreams, goals, and vision. Happy New Year to you guys. I love you. I appreciate you. I am grateful for you. And let's go out there and crush 2025. Peace.